What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at Alfred Hitchcock's Dial M for Murder, written by Frederick Knott, based off the stage play of the same name, also written by Frederick Knott. Dial M for Murder, the basic premise of this movie is this. Tony Windens is an ex-tennis player who wants to have his wife killed so that way he can get her inheritance. So he devises this devious plan for the perfect murder. So that is the overall plot of Dial M for Murder. Let's just breeze right through this review and get through it as fast as possible. Positives. The cast in this movie is exceptionally good. I thought that the three main principal actors all did a fantastic job in this role. I have zero complaints in terms of the acting. I think the actor who played Tony Windens, the would-be orchestrator I thought that the actor who played this character had this suave, cunning yet elegance to him. I love the way he delivered his dialogue. It sounded so so proper, so well thought out. And the actor who portrayed the character, like he never came across as somebody who had nerves, but he always sounded very self-assured and very almost full of himself, that his plan to kill his wife was going to fall through. He was very conniving, manipulative, but he had that suave, just calm, cool, collected nature to himself. And I think that the actor who I believe played him was Ray Milland. I thought did a fantastic job playing the character of Tony Windens. He was really, really good in the role. No complaints with him whatsoever. Robert Cummings, who plays the character of Mark Halliday. He is the person who is having an affair with Tony's wife. I like the actor who played I like the actor Robert Cummings who played Mark Halliday. I thought he did a good job in this role as well. He plays the American friend who pretty much starts to be very flirtatious with the man's wife, leading to an affair. And this is what orchestrates Tony to want to arrange his wife's murder and pin everything and just to get the inheritance. I thought the Mark character comes into play because he's having an affair with his wife, and I also like how he's like a mystery novelist as well. Like, I think that really and I like how that plays into the movie when you get to the midway point. I thought, like I said, I thought the actor did a really good job. And now, speaking of the wife character of Margot, Grace Kelly, who plays the wife, I thought Grace Kelly was really good in this movie. I like how we first see her. She's like this almost prim and proper lady who almost has a bit of an ego to her. But when she's almost killed, her character does a drastic change, and she goes from being this self-assured woman to somebody who is just shooken up and broken in a way. And especially when you get to the second half of the movie, where pretty much her almost attempted murder of herself turns into her now going to jail because there's no evidence proving that she killed herself in self-defense or anything like that. Like, everything is pointing to her going to jail and rotting in jail. And I thought Grace Kelly all throughout this movie put on a very good performance. I like her chemistry with the two main principal actors. I thought she was great in this role. And I also liked the actor who played the character played the character of Swanson, who is the man that Tony hires to kill his wife. There's this fantastic scene that goes 15-20 minutes of just Tony and Swanson having a conversation where they act out the entire plan that Tony has laid out. And it is a brilliant and beautiful, well-acted scene, beautifully directed by Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock can make two people just talking into the most just interesting and just entertaining scene you'll ever see. And the scene where these two are acting out the murder and how everything should be going down, laying out the pros, laying out the cons, having a plan, having a contingency plan for almost every single, having a contingency plan in case something goes off track. Beautifully acted scene, beautifully directed scene, such an intense scene. And the way these two actors play it out is just so fantastic, because it comes across as just two guys having a conversation, having a casual conversation. Only this conversation is about the murder of another person. It's fantastic. It's utterly fantastic. I can't compliment it enough. I honestly feel that the first 53 minutes of this movie, which is a good chunk of the movie, is the best part of this movie. The first half of Dial M for Murder, to me, is absolutely fantastic. Everything leading up to the murder and the follow-up afterwards, I thought was really well done. Where I do have some criticism is when we get to the overall aftermath, like after the murder, after the initial follow-up. Now we get the aftermath with the trial and the investigation to try and prove, and the investigation as to what really went on. The second half of the movie, I think, is where it can like drag into certain areas a little bit. And I found myself kind of going in and out of attention with it, especially when the police start to really get heavily involved in it and the investigation occurs. I mean, you do have a lot of good moments in that second half, like when Tony and Mark are having a conversation, and Mark is trying to persuade Tony to pretty much turn himself in, saying that he orchestrated the whole thing so that way his wife can get off the hook. Like, that's a really intense and really well done scene. But I think other parts of it can slow down in a lot of areas, and I think the overall climax is both dragged and rushed all at the same time. Like, the movie kind of just ends, like pretty much the last 15 minutes kind of drags on, and then once you get like the last 5 minutes, the movie just ties itself up really fast with everyone having a drink and Tony going to jail, pretty much. So yeah, like the first half of this movie is the strongest half. The second half, while not horrible or terrible, still pretty good, is a mixed bag for me. But the overall movie, I think as a whole, very well done, very well acted, beautifully directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It's no wonder this man was called the master of suspense. He can take the most basic, simple premises, and he can do so much with it. And Dial M for Murder is no exception. Visually, this movie is beautiful. The use of limited locations is fabulous. He makes everything work to his advantage. I think the two best directed scenes out of this entire movie is the conversation between Tony and Swanson breaking into the house and nearly killing Margot. Those are the best directed scenes, chock full of suspense, beautifully directed and wonderfully acted. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Dial M for Murder a solid 8 out of 10. Highly recommend this movie if you've never seen it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.